how renting can make you a millionaire. If you are renting, you can become a millionaire while you're still renting your residential property. So in other words, you are the tenant. Now, if you want to know what can you do while you are renting, how the renting can make you millionaire, then watch till the end. Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. You must have heard this term that rent money is dead money, and I am telling you that is not, because from my personal experience I have been renting ever since I came to Australia. And the reason I am renting because I have actually deployed this money somewhere else rather than buying my own principal place of residence. So let's look into it, how renting can help you to become a millionaire and how it made me a millionaire. So the first thing is that why do you want to rent? There are two types of renters. One, those who cannot afford, so in other words they do not have money, so they have to rent. And the another type of renters where they have money but they want to rent because their velocity of money, or the money that they can make, is much faster if they invest somewhere else. So you need to move from one category A, to category B, to the next category where you are renting because on purpose you really want to rent it. Now let's look into it. Let me give you that example. I currently live in a place where I really want to live because it's a good school, and my daughter going to this good school, and as a result I want to live in that, because in Australia you need to be in that zone, right? So to live in that place, I have to buy, in order to buy that property I have to spend about $2.5 million. So right now I'm living in that house. $2.5 million is the property value. So if I buy similar property in that area, I need to spend $2.5 million. Now $2.5 million, the stamp duty and the other cost itself is about, let's say, $150,000, as opposed to if I am renting that place, I am paying only $1,100 per week. So $1,100 per week is roughly about $55,000 in a year. Now remember, when I'm renting, I have no other expenses. So your council rates, your management fees, and land tax, insurance, everything is paid by the owner or the landlord. So my expense is only $55,000, and on top of that, if there is anything fixed needs to be done, I'll just ask the real estate agent and they're going to talk to the owner and they're going to fix it. Now what does it mean? That $2.5 million that I saved in order to not buying that property, I now invested it somewhere else, and particularly in commercial property, and that is giving me, on an average, like neck to neck comparison, is about $4,000 per week rent. So in other words, I am paying $1,000 or $1,100 per week, but I am earning $4,000 using the same money. Now another part you need to understand is that not everybody's circumstances will work like this. For example, me and my wife, we are aligned that we want to go in this route. A lot of people are emotional, they want to buy their own home and they are happy to pay a bigger mortgage. That's their way of doing it. For us, what it works is that still renting $1,100 per week rent and earn, using that same $2.5 million, earn $4,000 from somewhere else and pay off that $1,100 here, and the remaining money you pay off the mortgage on. Basically I am living rent free, and that is happening right now. So this is, I'm coming from my experience. Now one more thing that you need to understand is, you need to understand about commercial property in order to invest. Why you think like why somebody would pay you $4,000? Yes, there are opportunities, there are deals you need to understand, and you need to invest there. In general, the comparison is residential property is gross rent, commercial property is net rent. Means commercial property cash flow will always be way better than the residential property. And if you understand that part, then you will also think about how you can rent and how renting can make you a millionaire. Remember, every year this rent goes up, so does my residential property. The tenancy, that rent is also going to go up. But remember, I do not have the expense, and the house that I am living 3 years, 5 years down the line, I might have a different requirement. I might need a bigger house, I might need a smaller house, depends on the family circumstances. But that is, once you buy a residential property, you're stuck with that. Remember how many people are building 5-6 bedroom house where they hardly use half of the house, and the remaining house, it's not being, those empty rooms are pretty much dark, there nobody's living there, and it is being used as a storage space. That's such a lot of wastage on that. On the other side, if you can effectively manage, in other words, if you're a bachelor, then you take a 1 bedroom, then move to 2 bedroom, then move to to 3 bedroom. Once you have a full family, 5 bedroom, and then vice versa. From 5 bedroom, again you come down to 3 bedroom or 2 bedroom, and eventually 1 bedroom when you retire and you do not need that much space. But when you buy that property, that is being difficult. Now, I'm not saying that you will always do like this. I'm saying that sometimes when people actually attach that the renting is bad, rent money is dead money, it's not if you are reinvesting or if you are investing in somewhere else and giving you better return. On the other side, if you are just renting because you cannot afford it and all the money is going there and not investing somewhere else, that is bad. So you need to understand the difference between whether you are going to rent and whether you're going to rent on purpose so that you can get a better return. Now, hopefully you understood the situation and my circumstances, and that gives you why renting can made me millionaire and why it can be for your case as well. I hope you find these videos helpful and it gives you an idea of what is possible while still you are renting. Remember, if you're just renting and spending the money and not investing, that's not an idea, that's not the plan, then it is not going to make you a millionaire. But if you do on purpose, you want to live somewhere where really close to a nice school and you want to live with your friends and families, still rent it and then reinvest that money to somewhere where it can give you better cash flow is the way to go, can make you millionaire faster. And once you have the money, then at one stage you would be thinking about buying your own house, but not at the expense of right now. If you have only a certain amount of money and then all money is gone just by buying the property, and the huge amount of mortgage can make you poorer and poorer every single year. If you like this video, consider subscribing our channel. There are a lot of people who are watching videos but they're not subscribing. I really will be thankful, like if you subscribe this channel, it will really help me, it will motivate me a lot to create more videos like this. Thank you so much and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.